The opportunities in apparel decorating are many. Are you capitalizing on them? Well, we want to help you. And that's why we're excited to introduce our global masterclass, all about decorating on demand. I'm Josh Ellsworth with Stahls, and I've been educating apparel decorators for nearly 2 decades on how to start and grow their apparel decorating business. The opportunities available in today's market, they're more numerous than ever. There's more people wanting to start, and there's more people wanting to change their business to make sure they can maximize their efficiency, their profitability, and really stay on trend with what's happening out there in the market. We're going to teach you how to do just that at this masterclass. I've joined with other experts from around the globe to bring this education to you. It's how-to knowledge on how to actually decorate apparel the right way, efficiently. It's trending information on what's happening in different parts of the world that you can apply to your business wherever you are. And it's also a fair amount of business intelligence on how to calculate costs, set your selling price, and maximize your profitability. There's so much information, and we're bringing it to you in a virtual environment so anyone can attend. So whether you're in the United States, the UK, or somewhere in Australia, you can learn from the world's best educators how to decorate apparel the right way and grow your business. So join us at the Global Masterclass presented by Stahls.
Hey, hello everyone, and welcome to today's Lunchtime Live. I'm coming to you from the Heat Printing Innovation Centre in Braintree in Essex. Anyone who is joining us on YouTube, LinkedIn, or Facebook will have just seen our trailer for the Global Masterclass Apparel Decoration on Demand. If you are joining us on Instagram or TikTok, if you head to stahlsmasterclass.com, you can find out more information about this. This is the biggest heat printing event of the year. It is the only international event, and it's all virtual, so you can join at home or at work, but it's going to be a full-on day of education. It starts at 12 p.m. UK time, and it's going to go for about 7 or 8 hours, but it's going to be a full-on education day. It's going to give you access to the best minds in heat printing with the best information. We're going to bring in outside experts on blank apparel and global trends, so you can really supercharge your business going into the 23-24 season. We're really pleased with how this event is coming together, because we really know it can make a difference to all of you. So you haven't signed up for it yet, it's stahlsmasterclass.com. Tickets are free, but I encourage you to start planning your day around this, because it's 26 days to go until the event now. So it's really important that you make sure you set time aside. You will be able to watch on demand, but you'll get much more out of it by joining in with the Q&As and networking with other people and visiting the live virtual expo booths. So it's really important that you come along and make the most of this opportunity. If you join us for our lives regularly, this is going to be what we do here on a Friday times 10. So it's really important you join us for that. And if you have already registered, do leave a comment, let us know, but give us a thumbs up to say, I'm going to be coming to the event, because we're going to really make it worth your while. But today we are here to talk about hat decorating. So anyone that missed our Headwear Live event, the first annual Headwear Live a couple of months ago, this was a joint event we did together with Beachfield and Ralowise, and it was a massive success. Lots and lots of you came to the Heat Printing Innovation Centre here in Braintree in Essex and joined us for the biggest hat event in the UK, the only hat event dedicated for decorators. So this is really important that we make sure that we take advantage of this massive opportunity in the UK market. So today, in today's live, I'm going to give you a very condensed version of what we learned on that day. There is a full recording of the talk, which you can go back and watch as well, which I'd encourage you to do so. And there's lots of videos we put together around hat decorating, but I'm going to give you a bit of a whirlwind tour of it today. So for anyone that is brand new to us, that's never joined us on a live before, just to give us a little bit of introduction to us, you might know us as Tide Transfers or Stahls UK, but we are the home of Stahls, Stahls Hottronics, Heat Transfers and Heat Transfer Vinyl in the UK, part of the Stahls Group, which is the world's biggest supplier of heat transfers, heat transfer material, and heat presses. And this is worldwide. It's the best quality and the biggest volume. So we can teach you lots and lots about heat decorating. And we are, some of our some of our customers include the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, and now even Barcelona Football Club. So the advice I'm going to be giving you today is the same advice we give to our biggest customers to make sure they succeed. And we want to give it to everyone to make sure you can all succeed in your chosen niches. So I'm just going to give you a bit of a brief overview about what it takes to decorate a hat, what the hat market is looking like, why it's a good opportunity, and give you some real prices behind actually the pricing of hats. So I'm just going to give you a bit of everything you need to do today. And if you have questions, just pop them in the comments. Let us know. We can stop what we're doing and jump onto them straight away. So we're here to answer all questions with regards to hat decorating. So when it comes to approaching the hat market and trying to heat press a profit with hats, it's really important you don't just try and tackle the whole market as a whole. If you've never decorated hats before, it's really easy to do it, but it's really important you do it in a scalable fashion. So you're not just going to drop everything you do and start decorating hats. You need to make sure you look after your core business. And that's why we always tell everyone that comes to these doors and looks at the hat press or is at Headwear Live, that it's really easy to apply hat decorating to your existing strengths. Think about the customers that you already have and break them down as different customer types and think about how hats might apply to that. So for example, sports hats, fashion hats, and working hats is a good way to start off. Kind of go a bit broad, but you also want to kind of segment them. So then when you approach them with hats, you're going to be approaching them in a fashion that is going to be appealing to them. So for instance, let's talk about sports, for instance. Sports is a big driver of the hat market in the UK. Lots and lots of sports teams are adding hats to their available product, and this is across all leagues. I'm not just talking about the Premier League football. I'm talking about all sports. I'm talking about every single level, even semi-professional. And this includes your Sunday league, your Saturday league. Every single sports team that has a team could be having hats. So start thinking about this of like, who do I have that I decorate sporting goods for? And it could be at any level. And how could I potentially offer them a hat? So say right now, a lot of you have already handed over your sports kit for the year, your football shirts, for instance, or your rugby shirts, or you're just about to. And think about those customers as a good place to start. And you could add the hats in any point in the season. So it could be beanies to start off with, or you could start having any discussions about sports hats like this one straight away, because it's something that is because the cost is going to be low to you with high profit margins. It's very accessible to them as a customer as well. So that'd be a good place to start. Think about who have I got existing sports customers? What events have they got coming up? What tours have they got coming up? What sports are going to be starting in the new year? So things like cricket and other athletic sports you could be thinking about. Sports would even include things like dance and cheer, anything with a kind of athletic sporting fashion. So that's one way to look at it. Another one is thinking about your workwear customers, your corporate wear customers. How many of them are you putting packs together for already? So workwear is a good place to start. Are you doing the t-shirts, the jumpers, the high vis, the trousers, the bags? Adding a hat into this is a really great way of getting average order values up, because hats are really popular at the moment, but they're really accessible and really easy to decorate, and they're low cost. So it's really easy to add say a £10 or a £15 hat into that order, and your order as a whole is going to increase quite considerably, but it won't be super noticeable to your customer, and it's going to be very reasonable, and they're going to be happy because they're going to want these hats. Also think about your corporate customers, any events that you're doing for them, any promo customers. Have you offered them hats to go with the t-shirts and the hoodies or tote bags? Because again, it's very accessible and it's very easy to do, and it's a great return on investment. So think about all your different customer sets that you already have and how you could possibly approach them. And the main way is just to get these hats in front of them, because they look amazing, and the finishes you can achieve for these hats has come on leaps and bounds in the last couple of years. We're not just talking about just a simple embroidery. And I'm going to show you how to apply things like embossed badges and hybrid vinyl. I think we have a question, do we? We
do. We have one. Darren says, looking forward to the masterclass. He is saying hello from Topeka in Kansas. I think I've said that right. Yeah. And then we have a question asking where we have got the hats from, which I know you'll cover, okay. But just to jump in.
But we can jump straight to that point. So these hats are all available as part of the Beachfield Brands range. So if you want to go and check out these in more detail, they've got a really great range. It's beachfieldbrands.com. And they're all available to buy through rallowise.com. So if you're interested in these hats after the event, go and see the fine folks at Rallowise because they have a massive hat selection. And I can personally attest to the fact that these Beechwood hats are really easy to decorate. And you can see on the front here, we've got a really wide selection of different styles, and all of them are super simple to actually decorate with. So they're all Beechfield brands hats, and they're really, really easy to get started with. So once you've started to segment your customer, you know where to start in terms of who to approach. Start with your existing markets, add the hats to them, because all you're going to need to decorate these hats is a hat press. So there's not going to be a huge learning curve. If you've already got a heat press, you already know the fundamental skills to approach this market and to decorate these products. And a way to start thinking about it as well, and something that I want to kind of encourage people to think about, is thinking in terms of the kind of the switch that the UK market's had is gone very much from hat to hats. So rather than just being like a singular hat person, you might have one hat, you wear one beanie in the winter, snapback or sports cap in the summer. People are now starting to get many caps. So thinking more along the lines of 3, 5, 10 even for some people, because of the way that the sportswear market and the fashion market is driving these sales. And the fashion market is another good one as well. So if you have brands in your businesses, they will love having hats with a 3D hybrid vinyl on, or in a metal patch or a rubber patch. So every single customer type this can be applied to. So the expanding fashion sector is driving this a lot as well. The change in people's lifestyles, the way they wear hats. We're finding that people in the cities, which are growing in terms of population, are all choosing to wear hats on a more regular basis. So there is a growing market in every single section. But the sportswear one is really making us a boom market, and to the point where in 2022, the UK hat and headwear market has grown by 17%. This is rising for the second year in a row. So the actual growth in the UK is really massive. It's a really big growth market. The hat market worldwide is growing by about 8 to 10%, but as a whole, it's growing about 17% in the UK and Europe. So it's a really big potential for you in the UK and in Europe, and even in the US for Darren who's listening as well. So it's really important to take advantage of this opportunity because it's a really easy add-on to your existing sales.
Darren's actually piped up again. He said, here in the States, hats are huge. People actually have collections of hats, usually snapback style.
Yeah, it's a really massive market, and the UK market does often follow the US from a trends perspective. And anyone that's not part of the Heat Press of Profit Facebook group, where you can go and share stories like this and learn from other like-minded people, it is filled with people talking about how much money, how successful they're being selling hats. So it's really, really important that you really think about this, because it could add that extra 10, 20% to your business immediately.
We have had a couple of questions about cutting high build settings. Okay. We'll cover all of that later on in the video, but I just wanted to let everyone know we have seen your comments and we will cover that when we get to the application side.
Yeah, it probably won't be in the comments on Instagram, but if you head to targettransfers.com and select CAD-cut transfer, CAD-cut heat transfer vinyl, and then high build, all the settings are on there. And we do have a really great video on our YouTube page where we did a collaboration with Graphtec that covered the cut settings. So that would be the best place to go for those.
That video is on the website as well.
And it's on the web page as well. So really, really easy. Just go to High Build 3D on the targettransfers.com website. So today I'm going to cover 3 different hat types. So I want to give you a bit of a mix. So today we have, as Darren mentioned, snapbacks are a really big opportunity, really growth product in the UK. And the great thing is they're really easy to decorate. But because of the structure and the style of them, they actually have a really high perceived value in terms of what you can achieve from these. These are the sort of hats you see going at retail for sort of 35, 40 pounds, or even more sometimes, depending on how the brands are being pitched. But the great thing is the actual cost of the hat is between £2 to £3. So really, again, a great opportunity. The classic one in the UK is the sports hat. So this is something that is a real staple in the UK wardrobe and a really great opportunity because, again, really low cost to buy and really easy to decorate. And then we also have some more unstructured types of hats. You can see here, I'll take the cardboard out. You can see it's a bit floppier, but again, we're just going to find this really easy to decorate. So I'm just going to cover 3 today because I know that we've only got a short amount of time, but we do have videos all on our YouTube page where we're filled with decoration tips for this. So really, really easy to get started. So let's start off with this one, which is the sports hat. So anyone that is going to look this up afterwards because they're thinking about perhaps getting started with this one, it's a really great place to start. This is the BC142. So if you go, B75R. So if you go onto the beachfieldbrands.com page and look for it, you'll be able to find it. Or just go to Ralloise and just search for Beachfield. You'll be able to find it too. And the great thing is hat decorating is so easy. So all you need to do is get a 360 hat press. These are available on targettransfers.com or styles.com if you're in the US. These cost £1,540 plus VAT, and that is the only equipment you'd ever need for hat decorating. You don't need an embroidery machine because you can do embroidered patches with this, and you don't need to get any attachments. So you get a silicone bottom that molds to the shape of the hat. So you get one product, and that is going to be a real profit machine for you. So super simple. The principle here is why this looks a bit different to your normal heat press, is that we're going to be using lower heat this time. So I know a lot of you tend to be a little bit apprehensive of hats sometimes. I know that some of you had bad experience in the past, whether it comes to scorching the hat, because these are made out of polyester a lot of the time, or perhaps crimping on them. And the reason for that is because you're having to drive too much heat through the top into the hat, and they're going to scorch at that point. But what we have done at Hotronix is we built a hat press with lower heat. So it means all of the action is on the inside of the hat, which actually gets you closer to the adhesive and also allows you to take the heat down on the top. So it means that there's less heat going through the top, which means you get a much kinder reaction on the top of the hat. So no more scorch marks, and you can get pretty much any decoration type on this, which is fantastic. And by having a low heat, it also allows you to get those chunkier finishes in, like rubber patches and woven badges, or anything that is a bit chunkier and has a much more of a dimensional look and feel to it. So I'm just going to run through the first one. All you need to do is turn the press on. It comes preloaded with embroidered, woven, high build, embossed rubber badges and ultracolor transfers. These, again, still a great option for putting transfers onto this as well. So you just go on here. You've got the IQ controller, which I know a lot of you who have IQ machines already know about. We have done some videos on this recently. So if you want to know more about the IQ, do go and look on the YouTube channel. You just go into the library and select the product type you want. So I'm going to go in there and I'm going to select high build. Just like that. It's going to tell me that it's going to be 140 on the top, 160 on the bottom. These are all centigrade. And it's going to be at 45 seconds. That's how long it takes to decorate a hat with a dimensional finish. So anyone that's embroidering at the moment, you know, it could take 15, 20 minutes per hat. Now an embroidered patch could take 45 seconds. So much easier for you. So what's really important to do is to pull the sweatband out. I don't know if you can see that or not because it's kind of blue on blue. But pull that sweatband out. You don't want that here because you want to get straight to the hat and where the decoration is going to be. Pull it over the side here, and you'll see that you also have 360 degrees of decoration. So it means every single panel of hat is available to decorate now. You make sure the sweatband hangs slightly off here, and you pull it tight, and that's how we can make sure the silicone pad is getting nice and tight on here and molding to the shape of the hat that way. So next step is to find your foam pad. So you get 3 pads as standard. Most products in the UK only need the thinnest pad. So if you've already got one of these machines, just go for the thinnest pad. Then I'm going to get some high build vinyl. So I've already pre-cut some. This is available on targettransfers.com as well. So this time I'm just going to go for nice matte black. We're going to place it on the middle here. So make sure that it's nicely placed in the middle. I'm going to get a little bit of heat tape just to make sure I secure the decoration area. And then, so it only needs a tiny little bit. Then we get that foam pad, place it over the top here. And we're going to be looking for medium pressure when you pull it down, which is between a 4 and a 6. There we go. I'm seeing at 5, so this is perfect. It's going to be 45 seconds. It's going to count down. Something that's really important to remember, though, when you are decorating with hats is anything that is cold peel, it's a really dramatic cold peel. So what I mean by this is you are going to be the hat is going to sit on here for a longer period of time, so perhaps 4 times as long as a normal transfer would do. And because of the type of material and the structure of the hat, this is going to retain heat a lot longer than a normal transfer would do. So when I say cold peel, I mean it's really quite dramatic. It could be 3-5 minutes. But it doesn't matter because cold peel is cold peel if it's an hour and an hour anyway. So you can just leave it to the side and come back and do the next one. When it gets near the end, it counts down, automatically opens up. I can see that's already decorated on here perfectly anyway. This one was actually an inner taken from a larger piece of high build vinyl. So actually on this occasion, I can just very gently remove the tape. And pro tip for anyone that already has the Styles LED reader or pin. Slide that for you so you can see it. This is a great tool for removing heat tape on more heat sensitive items like hats. You can just get in there really quickly and just peel it away slightly. I'll give you a close up now so you can see that is perfectly sealed on there. Let everyone on Instagram and TikTok see. 45 seconds later, and I've got a really chunky dimensional finish on this hat. And this hat now could cost me about £2.50 to buy the hat. But the actual material on here, because I used high build vinyl, so high build vinyl is a more premium vinyl finish. So you're looking about £10.75 per meter if you're just buying single meters. But in terms of what you can get out of that meter, I was able to get enough high build badges. So initially I cut enough of these, so it cost me between 10 and 12p per heat transfer vinyl transfer that I've made here. And actually this inner is taken out of it. So technically, because all the costs in this one, this was free, but let's say it cost 10p as well, just for argument's sake. So this hat collects less than £3 to make. Even when you factor in labor, which is very minimal, 45 seconds, I could set this up next to my existing heat press, so my actual labor cost is not going to be that much more than I'm already paying anyway. It's an additional item you can just sit next to heat press. So let's say £3, £3.50 to make this hat in total. Then you could sell this anywhere between 15 and £30, depending on your audience type. Have we got a question?
We do. Somebody would like to know if you can adjust the pressure on the 360 IQ if you're using different hats.
Yes, it's really, really easy to adjust the pressure. Just like any other heat press you get from Hotronix, you have this over center pressure just here. Just turn it left or turn it right. I don't tend to find I need to adjust the pressure even between these different types of hats, to be honest with you, but absolutely you can do if there's something you need to do. It'd be more if you're changing the actual decoration type. So say, for instance, I've got high build here, but I might be going for a really chunky rubber badge, and that way I might potentially even need to change the foam pad. Then I could change the pressure. But if you're just doing high build, you could put the same high build across pretty much every single hat, and you wouldn't have to adjust the pressure. So again, really, really easy to do. 45 seconds, and you can decorate a hat with a premium finish.
Before we move on transfer types, can we just let everybody know what temperature we have on the top and bottom for the settings? People asking.
It's 140 on the top and 160 on the bottom.
Lovely.
So this is using our high build vinyl and a Beechwood hat. Obviously, if you are at home and using different hat types, there will be some variation. It could be 5 seconds up, 5 seconds down. But it's really important when you first get one of these just to test and test and test. So now I'm going to do high build on a snapback. But I just wanted to show you this first because this is a hat we decorated earlier. They actually have our metallic screen printed inks on here, and you can see just as easy to decorate one of the side panels here with a heat transfer. So this is a really versatile machine, and it's going to make your life so much easier. So with snapbacks, you'll see that often, obviously, you get 5-panel or even 6-panel. So this is a 6-panel hat. So normally, this would be near impossible to decorate. I don't know if the light's picking it up for everyone, but there we go, it's a bit better. This has got a panel down here, which normally you'd avoid decorating on because there's a seam here, and you think that's going to come off. It's going to be really difficult to decorate. That's where another reason the 360 IQ is such a game changer is it doesn't make any difference. You can decorate on every single panel of this hat, including over seam. Because again, you're doing the application on the inside, you're getting much closer to the adhesive. It's really, really simple. So let's pop this on here. I'm going to pull it tight again. We want to make sure that, especially with the snapback, so when this comes down, we don't want to be squashing this peak though. So I need to adjust it forward a tiniest little bit. Now when it comes down, getting perfect on there. So this time I'm going to go for a white badge on here. So again, I've got the high build vinyl. Remember, this is 1075 a meter. The actual cost of this transfer costs me 10p to manufacture. Get nice placement on the middle. Really important that when you're fusing onto hats, you kind of go about a finger away from the bottom here. If you get too close, you're going to get too much structure in here and it will be difficult. So make sure you go up enough. Make sure, more important, you come around to the front to decorate it. I've done this before where I've been trying to show you what to do. I don't get my alignment very close, so I want to make sure it's perfect. Heat tape again, always important. Again, heat tape is available on targettransfers.com, and it's really cheap, and you get a 30-meter long roll, so really great accessory to have available to you. 45 seconds at medium pressure one more time. I'm just going to let it go. So remember, 140 on the top, 160 on the bottom, between 4 and a 6 pressure-wise, and that'll be absolutely fine. That's how we get a nice, expensive premium finish like this. Got another question?
Yes, we do. We have one on Instagram. Someone is asking, do you get the same results with the Styles basic hat press as opposed to the one you're using? What's the difference between the two apart from the features?
So the main difference with the Styles clam hat press is a great place to start, but it does not have the lower heat. So the main difference is it's that dimensional finish of product. So the Styles clam basic is a great place to start if you're just doing something like sports film or a flex bar or something thin or a heat transfer. So when this is finished, just take it off. Because this has the carrier on, we do need to let this one cool down, but I'll come back to that. So I'll let it go on a cold table. So the clam basic doesn't have the lower heat, so it means that when you're applying chunkier finishes, it's not as easy to get them decorated because you're going to have to put all of the heat through the top, and you can't let the heat go a little bit lower on some of those polyester and acrylic materials. So it does make life a little bit more difficult, and that's why we introduced the 360, because there's such a demand in the market for dimensional finishes like high build and embossed and rubber patches.
Cool. Yeah, there's no follow-up on that yet.
So this is going to be warm for a good few minutes now. So while we wait for that to cool down, I'm just going to decorate another hat. I'm going to go on a slightly different finish here. So again, this is one of the more unstructured hats. So this is the B54. And sorry, for anyone that's interested, the snapback was the B661. So, and again, they're all available on Rallywise. So again, this is a more unstructured hat. It's a little bit more difficult, but it's not going to be any problem for us. So let's put that to the side. Again, really easy. So I'm going to go for a side panel decoration here. So get it over the top here. Make sure that sweatband is out of the way. And because I've got the Hotronix press, I know I'm going to be fine. Pull it nice and tight. And you can see, I don't know if that, maybe everyone on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn can see that. But when I flick the switch here to tighten it up, you can see it's going nice and tight now. And remember, anyone that's thinking about getting a 360 hat press, this does come with the Hotronix Premier warranty. So it's 5 years on the framework, lifetime warranty on the heating element. So you get that really long warranty that all professional heat presses should have. So again, we just got to make sure we place it nice on here. I can feel where the rubber patch is. Bit of heat tape. secure that into place. Because we are applying with lower heat, so this is something I should have mentioned earlier. I know that every single live we always tell you to pre-press, and this is one of the most important things to do. This is the one time you don't have to. Because it probably took me 10 seconds to get this hat on here, it's kind of pre-pressing in here, so it's getting it nice and warm, and it's removing that moisture before the transfer's even gone close to it. So it's doing all that hard work already, so don't worry about it on this occasion, but everything else, pre-press. Again, because it's high build, we're going to keep it 45 seconds. I do find that most of the time that's around the sweet spot for most decoration types anyway, so I'll give you a bit of a close-up to the embossed patches. These are all available on badges.targettransfers.com. These embossed types with minimum order is only 100 as well. So if you're thinking about starting up a brand, or if you've got a bunch of sports teams, it's a really great place to start. So going back to the sports team argument, while we wait for these to pop up and cool down, if you're already doing sports decorating for football teams, and especially if you've got teams where you've got all the age groups from say 10 to adults and multiple teams, just get a load of patches done or a load of high build cut it on a Graphtec, and then all you need to do, rather than kind of try and go straight to the mass orders, just try and get the same badge and apply it across every single age group. Even if you start to pick up 3, 5 from each year to start off with, if you've got say 8 different age groups or 10 different age groups, immediately you've gone to 50 hats. And if you're charging say £10, £15 a hat, and you're going to make £10 profit every single time, just on that first order of just a 3 to 5, say 5 hats per age group, and it could be 15, 20 people in that team if it's football, it could be 30 if it's rugby, you've immediately gone to £500 profit straight away, which is actually a third of the cost of this machine on the first order. So that's how to think about it. How can I apply these hats across my existing customer base? So this has actually gone cold now. So first step here is to take the tape off. So again, I'm going to be using the LED pin. Weeders would be just as fine as well. I like to peel the carrier as a whole rather than peel with the tape when it comes to vinyl, on a hard bid vinyl on these hats. So I've loosened up enough. I can find the corner. Then I can pull it straight off. And again, give you a nice close up so you can see that it's perfectly sealed on that hat and it's not going anywhere. There we go. So you can see that is perfectly sealed. And this hat, this type of vinyl on it, again, it costs about £2 to £3 for the hat, 10p worth of decoration. You could easily sell this for a minimum of 15, and you could easily sell this at retail for 30 to £40, depending on how your brand is pitched. So it's a really great profit margin. I think we have another question.
Yeah, we've had a question come in on TikTok. Somebody's asked what the best place to start with printing hats is.
Okay. The best place to start is, like I say, is to apply it to your existing customers. So one of the takeaways from today is obviously, like I said, apply it to existing customers. So first thing to do would be to phone your customers up this afternoon and say, would you like to get some hats done? Have you thought about getting some hats done? You can steal some pictures from us from our Instagram page and perhaps say it could look like this. That would be a great place to start. The hat press is super, super easy to get hold of and to use. Like I say, they're all in stock. We just had a fresh delivery come in. We did sell out after Headwear Live, but we do have them in stock and they're only £1,540. So it's a very small investment compared to the profits you can make from these. And you can even put other heat sensitive products, including bags and accessories under this as well. So it's quite a versatile machine. So the place where I'd start is to think about your existing customers, get some designs mocked up and approach them. Because we do find that with a lot of the customers, so go and join the Heat Press Profit group and speak to the other people in there with hat presses. Ask them the questions that you think that you want to hear from other people who've been in your shoes. And you'll find that lots of people in there have 2, 3, 4 machines. A lot of them are paying off that machine within the first few orders because they're applying the logic of accessing their existing customers and trying to get their average order value up, and just trying, if you've got, say, a workwear company, get a hat into every single pack that you're selling. That's a great place to start. And then you can start building, making more samples up and get it applied to so many different customer types. But the main thing is start with your existing customers and have those conversations. Put it on your Instagram, put it on your Facebook page, who's interested in hats, and see what response you get. That's a great place to start.
Yeah, we've got another question. Somebody has asked, would you use a pillow to fill up space between a stiff front crown and the bottom platen?
I wouldn't. So that anyone on the other channels is asking whether we should put a pillow inside a hat. So this, I'll show you this again. Very structured. No, this is probably as structured as it gets when it comes to hats. And you can see I had no problems decorating. Because of the silicone nature of this bottom pad that's on here, it molds to the shape of the hat. So there's no need to put anything in there. So that is something that if you've got a normal hat press, we find that people don't want to buy a interchangeable platen to go on it to shape the hat. They just tend to put tea towels and pillows inside of that. But that is going to be inconsistent because you're not going to get the shape right. You've not got that pillow perfect, you get uneven decoration. That's one of the reasons we put a silicone pad on top of the heating element on this, so it can mold to any shape. So let me just do this one again. Actually, it's gone cold, so I'll just peel this real quick. Then I'll show you again. So again, lever off that heat tape. Try the other side. These slightly looser hats are a little bit harder to get the tape off because they've got a little bit of weave on them. So you do have to be a bit gentler. Got that heat tape on there nice and secure. So this is great. This is great live video here. Me just peeling tape. So I got that off, and then you can just peel that away. Again, even on the unstructured ones, you don't need anything else other than a foam pad and a silicone bottom plate. So when I put this back on here, I'll do it facing everyone this time, so in case you can't see. Sweatband out of the way. And you'll see that it's a bit baggy here. So I pull it tight. The shape of the bottom platen comes to the hat. So there's no need for any extra accessories. You only need one machine. There's no additional patterns, just one foam pad. That's all it takes to decorate a hat, to get it right every single time. So please don't try and find workarounds, because the amount of time it will take you putting pillows into hats, I bet it probably takes you 20 seconds every single time. So you're going to lose so much of your productivity and so much of your working time every single year. You're probably losing days and weeks a year just by pushing pillows into stuff. And in that price, you could have, the amount of work capacity you've lost that you didn't realize, you could have just bought one of these machines and done it really easily. Okay, so that is how you decorate hats with any type of finish, any type of shape. So again, a reminder, I've done a sports hat, I've done a snapback, I've done an unstructured hat. I've gone across the whole range here of different styles, and I've applied vinyl on. So easy. It takes 45 seconds every single time, depending on the hat and depending on what you're applying with, but 45 seconds is a good guide point. So it's so much quicker than doing something like embroidery into a hat, and you get such a premium finish that you can then sell to your customers for between 15 and 30 pounds, depending on what type of business you are. Even if you're just selling it at sort of to work with customers, sort of like 10, 15 pounds, you minimum of 7 pounds, you could easily get 12 to 15 out of it. And it's a great way to increase your average order value. And all you need is 360 IQ hat press. So it's really, really easy to get started. And you just need either some patches, rubber, embossed, embroidered from badges.targettransfers.com. Or if you have something like a Graphtec or a Suma or Roland, you can put the hybrid vinyl in straight away. Just make sure you have a high build blade. Go to targettransfers.com, click on high build, search for high build to get all the up-to-date instructions for that. But it's super, super easy, and only costs about 10p's worth of vinyl. And as I showed you earlier, if you're really clever, you can use the insides of the vinyl as well. So in that case, it's costing you 5p per hat to decorate. So it seems a bit of a no-brainer to me. So it's really easy to get started. Press is on targettransfers.com, as is the material and the Graphtec cutters if you've not got one already. There are bundles available with the hat press. You can do some really cool stuff with decorating hat bills as well. We won't have time to cover that today, but we do cover that on the recording of the live video from Headwear Live. So if you're interested in that, and we have done some other videos around that as well. So there's some great bundles on there, and you just need to go to Relawise and get the hats. It's really that simple to become a professional hat decorator. We've taken away all the barriers, so you don't have to worry anymore. You're not going to get any scorch marks or crimping marks on the hat. You just get a premium hat like this, super structured, perfectly sealed, really chunky finish, and it could be vinyl, it could be transfers, you name it, you can put it under a hat. So if we've got no more questions, okay, thank you very much everyone for joining me today. Just a reminder to go to stylesmasterclass.com. If you're serious about heat printing, you need to be there on the 27th of September. It's a virtual event, so any time zone can join, and we're going across every single time zone. So if you're in the UK, Australia, America, Germany, France, Italy, wherever you are, you can join us and make the most of this full-on education day. This is like a university degree of education in 7 hours. We're going to condense everything you need to know. There's going to be Q&A times, there's going to be panel sessions, there's even going to be exclusive offers. So it's really important you join us. Just go to stylesmasterclass.com to get your ticket today. And thank you, and we will be back next week.
The opportunities in apparel decorating are many. Are you capitalizing on them? Well, we want to help you. And that's why we're excited to introduce our global masterclass, all about decorating on demand. I'm Josh Ellsworth with Stahls, and I've been educating apparel decorators for nearly 2 decades on how to start and grow their apparel decorating business. The opportunities available in today's market, they're more numerous than ever. There's more people wanting to start, and there's more people wanting to change their business to make sure they can maximize their efficiency, their profitability, and really stay on trend with what's happening out there in the market. We're going to teach you how to do just that at this masterclass. I've joined with other experts from around the globe to bring this education to you. It's how-to knowledge on how to actually decorate apparel the right way, efficiently. It's trending information on what's happening in different parts of the world that you can apply to your business wherever you are. And it's also a fair amount of business intelligence on how to calculate costs, set your selling price, and maximize your profitability. There's so much information, and we're bringing it to you in a virtual environment so anyone can attend. So whether you're in the United States, the UK, or somewhere in Australia, you can learn from the world's best educators how to decorate apparel the right way and grow your business. So join us at the Global Masterclass presented by Stahls.